Okay, excellent. So, hi everyone, I'm on camera. So my name is Tamba, and I'm going to be doing this presentation today to just tell you about real estate in Sierra Leone. What are some buying and investment opportunities? So our agenda for the day is going to be what you see on screen. I'm going to start with an introduction, and then I'll give a country overview, provide some key figures, access to finance, affordability, housing, supply, and go all the way down to questions and answers. But before the question and answers, I'll present more detailed information about the opportunities that are out there for buying or selling or basically investing in a real estate business in Sierra Leone. So I'm not going to assume that everybody knows me, so I'm going to start with a quick introduction of myself. I am Tamba Sheku Lamin. My middle name is Sheku. And in short, I'm a husband, father, and uncle to a bunch of kids. Professionally, I'm a digital transformation leader or a technology architect and a business executive. I consider myself a serial entrepreneur. Today, I invest mainly in three types of businesses: real estate, technology, and heritage tourism. So overall, you're going to see me or hear from me in one of these different, talking about business in Sierra Leone, specifically around one of these three different sectors. This is just a picture of me back in March 2020 in South Africa, where this whole business, I would say, started to some extent, because we had to travel there, myself and partner, to actually get trained on how to use an alternative building system to build affordable luxury homes in Sierra Leone. So now I'll give you a quick brief of the company, who we are and what we do. As a company, we were founded in 2020, and we were founded basically to be a real estate developer. So as a real estate developer, we buy land, we master plan this land, we design model houses, we build the houses together with contractors and together with some other partners, and we put these houses on the market for sale. That's basically what we do. That's what our business is around. In addition to that, we do get customers that also come to us and ask us to basically design houses for them or build their houses or manage their housing projects. To make it easy, I'm going to play a video here. To make it easy, I'm going to play a video here. This video is basically was taken when we were launching our model house at Kent in December of 2021. So I'm going to show a brief portion of it where I was being interviewed about what the business is about. My name is Tamba Lamin, and I'm the CEO for TpESTATE.
What's the estate?
TpESTATE is a company that is formed to basically transform the real estate industry in Sierra Leone by building eco-friendly homes and using the Hydraform alternative building system. So we build communities and we sell houses in these communities. We also manage the communities. But all the homes we build are eco-friendly homes, and they are in sustainable communities with electricity provided, with water system provided, sanitation provided, and all the other basic amenities that you will want in an affordable luxury community.
So how will this help to settle the situation of housing?
It will help because it will make affordable housing, affordable luxury houses available to those who can afford it. That's one. And secondly, to those who have the money today and want to build affordable luxury houses or even luxury houses, but they don't have reliable contractors, they don't have reliable workers that they can build durable houses that are safe. This will help them. In terms of low-cost housing, this will help if we get to a point where we can partner with communities, where communities can allocate land and we can train their people how to basically build using this alternative building system. And together, us with the community, we can buy the machines to actually manufacture the blocks in the community and actually build low-cost houses that are affordable by pretty much the average person in the community. But that is an effort that has to be done between us as a private sector and local government, or probably the main government. right? It's not a one thing. But for now, we want to start by showing an example, building these affordable luxury communities so that people can see how durable these houses are and how eco-friendly these houses are. Thank you. Okay, so that was that interview. So why that interview answered that question to some extent, but the basic reason is we want to reimagine the future of architecture and eco-friendly buildings in Sierra Leone. We all travel to Sierra Leone all the time. We look at the houses. If you see any good architecture or any good design or any eco-friendly house, it was probably one of these houses that were built way back either pre-colonial or during the colonial days. But nowadays, the way we build, it's very, very different and they are not eco-friendly. So this started when we were on a trip in 2019, actually, myself and my partners, with Amadou being one of them. We traveled throughout the country. We went to all 5 regions in Sierra Leone for 10 days with 54 plus African Americans. And as we were traveling, doing our heritage tour, we started taking note of the structure of the houses, the designs, the architecture, and also the hotels we were lodging in. We started taking note of the availability of amenities, basic things like hot water, cold water, basic things like electricity. And with all that in mind, we basically said, well, if this is how it looks like in the entire country, maybe we should get into the business of doing real estate so that the next time we bring these tourists, we will use one of our communities to actually sleep in, and we don't have to go through all of this problem. So fast forward 2021, the video you just saw, we took on the venture to start the work at Kent. And when we started, we said, we're going to try to build a 15 square feet house in 7 weeks. And we started that work in November, and by December 18, this is the result. The picture you see on the bottom right is what we were able to achieve in 7 weeks. That's myself and my other partner, Samuel. So we were able to complete about 85% of the structural part of the house, and now we are continuing to finish that. We have a very large team of more than 40 employees already that are full-time employed with the real estate company, and they are the ones that are basically doing this work. To just recap, our main services as a company, we design eco-friendly homes, we build eco-friendly homes, and we sell these eco-friendly homes. We do this primarily today in communities that we own and that we are developing. These are the 4 communities that we currently own, and we are currently trying to develop all of them. Our focus right now is mainly on the Kent vacation community at the top, and that's what we're going to talk about a little bit more. If you are thinking about what is Hydraform or who else is using Hydraform, these are houses in India, Ethiopia, Zimbabwe, in China, in Vietnam, different places. These are houses that are built using the Hydraform building system. They've been around for more than 20 years, and they are in more than 70 countries. Now, I will give you a quick brief of what the opportunity is for you all that are attending here today. So I'll put them in 4 different categories. So one opportunity you have to invest in Sierra Leone today is you can buy, let's say, our model home that we have right now. We are selling that model home at a very good discounted price so that it will enable us to fast track our work. That's one way you can invest right now. Another way you can invest is you can basically invest in the Kent community, come in as an investor to actually join the Kent community company and help us get it up and running within the next 1 year. Other option is you can invest in all of our communities, all the 4 communities that we have, and that will enable us to basically showcase this example and prove to people that Sierra Leoneans can come together and do something big. And then last option here is we will have the option for people who don't have a lot of money, but just want to test, or they have a lot of money, but they don't trust us or trust the system. They just want to start small and say, I'm going to give you a small loan of, say, $500 or so. So I will get some interest on it. So we are going to banks to get money, but we're also looking at peer lending to basically fast track our work. So I'm going to give you more details about this as we go forward, but I just wanted to show you this at this very beginning stage, that these are the things that you should be looking at, and hopefully the information I'm going to present to you next is going to help you to basically make the decisions to do this. I'm not going to play this video anymore because you've seen this. The Kent community, this is what it looks like. The master plan, right, at a very high level. It's going to have about 16 homes all together. The front here is basically single family homes. And then the back is all single rental units, vacation rental units. This community is going to have a playground and going to have a parking spot for the community. It's also going to have a swimming pool, right? I don't want to go too much into this. When you get the slides, you can look at it. But if you don't know Kent, Kent is a location that was very significant during the slave trade in the 17th and 18th centuries, right? It has a lot of beaches. In fact, for people on the east, it's one of the premier beach for people living in the east part of Freetown. It's a strong fishing community, and it's also very, very close to Banana Islands. If you know Banana Islands, that's the other tourist or resort spot today in Sierra Leone. So boats leave Kent to go to Banana Island, and it takes about 20, 45 minutes, depending on the route that you take. So it's very rich from a tourism standpoint. This is that model house that I was telling you about. This is what it looks like. I will show you a little bit more about it. But before that, let's try to understand what Sierra Leone looks like from a real estate standpoint. I know data is very difficult to get. We have been working in this space for about 2 years plus now. Myself personally, I've been gathering data around this space for the past 10 plus years. It's very difficult to get reliable data because of just who we are. But what I'm providing to you here today is a summary of some data that we've collected within the past years and also most recently. A lot of this data is available from African financing, one African financing organization that provides a yearbook, and this yearbook basically provides this data from all the different countries. So the main urban areas in Sierra Leone are basically Freetown, Bo, Kenema, Makeni, and Potloko. These are basically the provincial headquarter towns. They tend to be the most popular ones. From a population standpoint today, we're somewhere around 8 million almost, and the population growth rate is about 2%. Let me put it that way. Urbanization on the other side, we have almost more than 40% of our population live in urban areas, right? And the urbanization growth rate is more than 3% at 3.1%, which means more people are moving into urban areas and they are not staying in the rural areas. And this presents the opportunity to build more houses, because if more people are coming to urban areas, they need to build more houses to accommodate them. When we look at who can afford a house and things like that, we got there is about 39% of women own homes alone or jointly in Sierra Leone. About 16% or less of the population do not have access to basic sanitation, which is the reason why we believe building a community that have this type of amenities is essential and important, because most people do not have it today. About 58% or more do not have access to water. If you live in Sierra Leone or you travel to Sierra Leone, doesn't matter how much money you have, if you need water today, in most cases, you're not going to get pipe-borne water. You have to have a borehole, right? And overall, if you look at the houses today, about 66% of the population live in 1-room or 2-bedroom house. And about 24% of the houses in Freetown use zinc construction, basically what we call palm body, right? And if you think about overall in Freetown alone, we have about 13% of the houses built using mud, which people refer to as a dirty block, right? So some key figures that I will go through quickly here. At the very top, you will see that in 2021, a survey was conducted by this same African housing company, and they found that the cheapest newly built house by a formal contractor like us cost around $20,000. And the amount of people in Sierra Leone that can afford a house at that price was around 8.8% or close to 9%. And the average income that these people need in order to be able to buy a house at that price is somewhere around $45,000, right? So just keep that in mind, and we will come back and see why this is important. If you look at the bottom, the table at the bottom will show you just the price of land, how much land costs, because when you want to build a house or buy a house, it usually starts with the land or the location, and the land also determines the price of the house as well and its location. If you look at these numbers relative to other countries in Africa, this is where we stand. So Sierra Leone, we are somewhere here, right, with 20 to 40,000 for the cheapest house. If you look overall in Africa, actually Kenya, Nigeria, Mozambique, they have the cheapest houses that people can afford, right? Nigeria actually topped the list for that. And then next you have Mozambique, and then you have Kenya. And if you look at those with very expensive houses, you go all the way down here. You're looking at places like Tanzania, it's high, Sicily, it's high, and all that. So what constitutes the cost of the house is basically what you are seeing on screen here. So there are a couple of components. One of them is the land, the other one is infrastructure, and then the other one is construction. From a Sierra Leone standpoint, all of these actually increase the price significantly, right? If you think about the construction cost, most of our materials are imported. If you think about infrastructure, in many cases, there are no roads. You have to produce your own road. There is no water. You have to produce your own water, electricity, sanitation, internet, cable. You have to produce all that. And when it comes to the land itself, the process that you have to go through to legally register that land, pay your taxes and everything, that's also very expensive when you compare it with other countries. So access to finance. How do people get money to buy these houses in a place like Sierra Leone? So overall in Sierra Leone today, the Bank of Sierra Leone manages about 14 commercial banks, 56 foreign exchange bureaus, but most important, there is only one mortgage finance company that's managed by the Bank of Sierra Leone, and one leasing company. And this mortgage finance company is called I don't remember the name. Let me try, but they've changed names within the past years anyway. The value of residential mortgage as it is today in Sierra Leone is somewhere around 10.2 million. And the residential mortgage outstanding is about 292. When I last approached this bank to basically find out about mortgages in Sierra Leone, they basically told me they are on hold. They cannot give any mortgage out because they are trying to collect the money from those who have already collected, who have already taken loans. So as of right now, for example, they are not providing loans. You see the number 2 here, that there are 2 providers of residential mortgages. In actual fact, there is only one. I put the number 2 because a lot of people quote 2, and in the data you will see 2. But our recent finding, it shows us that there is only one, and that is this Commerce and Mortgage Bank. And thank you for that, Neil. So if you think about the ratio of mortgage to GDP for Sierra Leone, it's somewhere around 0.26. If you compare this to other developed nations or other African countries that are doing well in this space, that number is way high, right? So that Commerce and Mortgage Bank Sierra Leone it's providing mortgages to purchase homes, and in some cases, basically, it's also providing loans to renovate your house. They require a deposit of about 20%, and their loan maximum amount is somewhere around 120,000, right? And if you think about the interest rate today is between 18% to 23%, and this typically goes for 15 years or 20 years. In most cases, it's 15 years. It doesn't go past 15 years, right? So now, affordability. How many people can afford houses in Sierra Leone that are built by a formal developer, right? The percentage of the population that's below poverty level is about 46%. That's almost half of the population, right? And the population of adults that are borrowing formally today is about 4.3%, right? If you think about construction cost, you want to basically think about affordability alongside that, right? Because if the cost of construction is high, the houses may not be affordable. Based on our real experiment for the past 2 years, And based on data that we receive from different sources, including the Housing Finance Africa, the cost to construct 1 square meter ranges between $487 to $877, right? This has many different variables in the middle why it has that big range. And that is to say the cost of material plus the cost of labor. And the cost of labor alone for 1 square meter is somewhere between $97.5 and $390. And this is the numbers looking at the cheapest house that was built in 2021. And we compared that with our actual experiment while building this model house, plus data from other sources to confirm that, yes, this makes sense. When you think about it from a rent standpoint, the cost of rent for that cheapest built house range somewhere between $131 all the way to $1,500, depending on the location. Is it in the west side of Freetown or east side of Freetown or central part of Freetown, right? Generally, the deposit, if you were to take a mortgage to buy this house, the deposit that will be required is about 20%. And you saw that already. The interest rate, 18 to 23%, you saw that already, right? If you were to buy land in the western area, you saw those numbers. It could, in prime spot, it could go up to $12,000 for 1 town lot, right? If you think about it from a square meter standpoint, it's somewhere around 35 US dollars per square meter. So I try to put this in the form of a chart. This chart is actually about 95% accurate. And the reason is we still need to validate the numbers for some of the years because they just doesn't make enough sense to us so far. Based on our experience and what I wanted to show this, to show that we will expect this graph to be moving in the same direction all the time. But in one case here, it's not moving in the same direction, right? One is going up, the income is going up, but the cost of the new home is coming down. This doesn't seem to be true. And this is the reason why I actually showed this slide to show you that it's very difficult to get the right data to analyze these things to see how it's going. But based on our experiment, we can tell, and based on the other data sources we have, we can tell that this graph moves up. The income is moving up, but not that much. But the cost of the new house is consistently moving up just based on inflation rate and based on the material cost overall in Sierra Leone. So how many houses do we have that are available for sale in Sierra Leone, right? We don't have too many houses that are available for sale, especially from the formal market. From the informal market, there are lots of houses, but they are not enough. You know, when I say informal market, it's like me building my house by myself together with some contractors, and then I put the house on the market for sale. The formal market that I'm talking about is a company like ours, TpESTATE. We build the houses, and then we actually sell these houses from a commercial at a commercial scale, right? We don't have too many of those, and I'll show you some examples of those. Overall, when the African Finance Company did their research, and together with some other companies in Sierra Leone, they found out that Freetown alone need about 280,000 housing units in order to meet the demand for housing, right? And the slum population in Freetown is growing very, very high. It's today almost 60%, which means everyone that is living in those slums are basically an opportunity, or they are potential customers for housing, right? If you have affordable houses built, these people can actually be moved into those affordable houses, whether they are financed by the government or they are privately financed, right? So that's the opportunity from a housing supply standpoint. Now, in the next few slides, I'm going to show you some videos and also some pictures just to show you what's actually out there today in the market. The first one that I'm going to show you is actually one of the first communities that we prototype or we develop. This is intended to be a residential community at mile 36, the same area that was highlighted for the other airport previously. So I'm going to walk you through this quickly.
riches. Diamond and gold, rooftile and rockside. All we get from it salon become paradise. Let we come together, forget what tribalism. Oh, 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 oh.
Okay, so that's enough. That's an example of one of the communities. It was actually the first one we designed and the first one we started working on. We have it right now on pause just because of the location. So that's one of the other companies you can invest in with us. We've actually built all the foundations for the house, the community that you just saw, the phase one. All of those 6 houses in that phase one, the foundations are already built, the compound is already landscaped. The retail store, the structure is already built. The other stores at the back are already built. All that is left now is basically start putting the blocks up for all of the other structures and then just continue the construction. But we put that on pause and basically started at Kent just because of location and several other reasons, right? So here is another example. These are other estates or communities that are available today in Sierra Leone. These are real examples of real people, in some cases Sierra Leoneans like us, actually building these communities, and in other cases it's foreign companies or foreigners. This one up here at the far left is basically the community up at Lumley Beach. You will see there is a small community up there in Lumley Beach, but most of these houses cost almost $500,000. They are not cheap or they are not affordable at all, right? Their prices are upwards of 300,000 or more. These are the one here. It's built by a Sierra Leonean based on our understanding. And it's also a small community. It's mostly rental based on what we understand so far. These are other projects that are actually going on in Sierra Leone right now. At the top there, top left, this is at Charlotte. This is someone else, another company building these houses also for sale. And the ones at the bottom here are some of the houses built by Nassit and also that mortgage company, right? And this other one that I'm going to show you is just quick video, not just 1 minute, to show you what that what that other community looks like up at Charlotte. So while I was in Freetown, I took note of it as another development that's going on. And I shot this drone video just to be able to show to people that a lot of activities in the real estate market are actually happening in Sierra Leone. And this is one of those examples. This actually caught our eye because they are using similar technology that we use, which is the Hydraform blocks. As you can see, the houses, they are still working on it, but I wanted to just show this briefly so that people will know that we're not the only ones doing this. We are talking about it because it's happening. This is the Nassit houses. If you've never seen this, this has been around for a while. So I'll just show you briefly.
The Seaview Estate, as it is called.
So as it is, it's very expensive based on our findings, right? It costs more than what, 200 or 300,000 to buy a unit there. Rent alone for most of those units, it's around $30,000 or more per year. This is another company that actually recently made the news. They already are working in Guinea and other places, and they promised to build a house for sale in Sierra Leone that would be about $10,000, right? I'm just going to show it briefly, but the picture you see behind on the guy on the right-hand side, that's the picture of the house that they are promising to sell at $10,000. That's the main reason why I'm just popping this up so you can see. They've actually broken ground and they are about to start doing work in Sierra Leone. This one I will show a little bit because this made the news recently. There is this company called TAF Africa Global. They were invited by the government in Sierra Leone to see how can they invest in real estate in Sierra Leone, right? So I'll show this briefly.
Founded in January 1990, TAF Africa Global Limited, TAG, is the leading real estate developer in the Gambia and one of the leading ingenious real estate in other countries in sub-Saharan Africa. Late last.
So as you can see,
To showcase
this is This is another big real estate company in Africa that has an eye on Sierra Leone to go do business. They've already visited and the government visited them. And you can watch these ones on YouTube at any point. I'm just highlighting them to show the activities that are going on, right? This is a vision that I have been seeing online for several months now. And this is another company that basically created this prototype or this vision of a housing community that is supposed to be built. I have seen this online in several places, but I will show this very quickly as well so you can see. Okay, so as you can see, there are lots of ideas. I also saw this one online. This is about crew bay. This is some ideas to develop crew bay in Freetown. And this is the last one I'm going to show. This one has a date going all the way back to 2014. This actually never started because it's been there for a while, but this was another planned community somewhere around the peninsula. Okay, so in the interest of time, I'll pause there. Hopefully this quick tour, if you need any of these links, we can share this link so you can see for yourself. But this gives you a good idea of what's going on in the real estate space in Sierra Leone, that a lot of people are coming up with ideas, individuals, governments, and they are trying to do things, but not all of these ideas are actually picking up and not all of them are being implemented fully. We are one of such ideas that we are taking the idea to implementation, and we've already started implementing, and you saw some other examples of people that are actually doing it. So now let's look at policy and legislation from a housing standpoint in Sierra Leone. So overall, we have basically two land tenure systems or two systems. There is land in the western area of Sierra Leone. There is land in the provinces, right? Land in the western area in Sierra Leone, for the most part, can be owned absolutely by individuals or companies. Hold on 1 minute, my son here, right? Okay. Hold on 1 minute. Yeah. So land in Freetown can be owned absolutely by individuals, but land in the provinces, based on the laws, technically cannot be owned individually. There have been some changes and some discussions around this, but long story short is that foreigners, if I am a foreigner, I'm not a Sierra Leonean, it doesn't matter if it's in Freetown or up in the provinces, I cannot own land absolutely. I can lease land, but I cannot own land. And until those laws change, for example, it's going to be difficult for anyone that is not a Sierra Leonean or a Sierra Leonean native to try to buy real estate in Sierra Leone, unless if they want to do it, they can basically register a company and then have the company buy the land, which is what most people do these days. But this is actually to some extent impacting the real estate market because everything sits around Freetown. Once you go outside Freetown, the rules change and it makes it a little difficult to absolutely own the property that you want to own, right? Now, let's dive deeper into the opportunities that we have, right? The opportunities that we are presenting to you today is basically that you can buy a home from us, you can hire us to build your home or manage your construction project. You can invest in one of our companies and things like that. So more about the different companies. If you look at the assets today, for the past 2 years that we've been operating, all the assets we've acquired and everything that we've been building, this is where we stand as of right now, right? We are valued somewhere around 868,000 US dollars, all the different companies. We have about 5 registered companies in Sierra Leone. Each estate or each community is basically a company on its own. From the size of land that we have, it's totaling about 21,599 square meter, right? If you calculate this in terms of cost, it's like the average 1 square meter is averaging at 40 US dollars. That's how we came to this value, just very roughly. So what are the opportunities that are available for any one of you attending here today or for you that will be listening or watching this later on? The model house that we've built at Kent, we are giving our audience and other people the opportunity to buy that model house because we want to use the money from the sale of that model house to continue to build in addition to the money that we are raising as investors of the company. So we are providing a heavy discount. As of right now, we're providing a 10% discount off the value of the house. And we're selling that for somewhere around 255,000 fully furnished. This is a 3-bedroom house that is eco-friendly with high ceilings, and you can see all the descriptions. If you're interested, we can talk about this more. But it's fully finished with furniture. Literally, take your suitcase with your clothes and get in and start living. Water, electricity, everything is included, right? And what type of warranty will you get if you buy this house or any one of the other houses that we're going to be building? This is the warranty you get. We are going to be providing 1 to 5 years limited warranty on all the homes. There is 5 years limited warranty that covers all major structural components like the foundation, the roof, and the walls. We have 2 years limited warranty for plumbing and electrical, and 1 year limited warranty for appliances, tiles, windows, doors, paint, and other things. In some cases, like for the appliances, we have warranty that's longer than what I'm stating here. I'll give you an example. The refrigerator that we have is actually from LG, and LG extended 10 years warranty for the compressor. If the compressor goes bad within 10 years, it can be replaced free of charge. The AC units that we put in this house are from Samsung. These are inverter type AC unit, and they are providing us 3 years warranty. If anything goes wrong with them, 3 years, we get them replaced. So we extend this type of warranties that we get from our suppliers to you, the customer, in addition to this standard warranty that we provide for any one of the houses that we're going to be selling. If you are interested in investing in the Kent community specifically, this is the opportunity that's available right now. So we have about 64% of our shares are already sold. This is what we own, myself and my other partners currently. And we have up to 20 something or more percent shares available. So you can buy, one person can buy 5%, you can buy 1%, you can buy 2%, 3%, you can buy 10. Maximum any one person can buy right now is 15%. That's why we put this here. If you're looking at that from a numbers standpoint, this is what the numbers look like. If you say, for example, I want to go in now and I want to own 1% of the Kent estate as it is right now, that's about 3,700. If you want to say own 15% of Kent estate, that's around 55,500. So this opportunity is there right now. It's open. It's first come, first serve. As soon as we are able to sell all of the 20-something plus shares that are available, we're going to lock it in, and we're just going to continue working as usual. The other opportunity that's available for those who don't want to own companies or who don't want to even get into running companies or involved with that is basically come in with what we call peer lending. Most of you may be familiar with things like Kiva or other type of peer lending platforms that are out there. We are creating our own peer lending platform or our own peer lending program. And with this program, any one of you or any Sierra Leonean technically can come in and loan us money by trusting us, trusting what we are doing, and lend us your money. We are trying to raise up to 500,000 US dollars through this method. And you can lend us money as cheap as 500 US dollars. And when you give us, let's say, loan us 500 US dollars, we have options for 12 months or 60-month term, right? So 12 month, 24 month, 36 month, depending on how we negotiate or how soon you want your money back. And based on the term, we can provide you a target yield between 5% all the way to 18%, right? So the longer the money stays with us, the higher profit interest you get. The shorter it stays with us, the lower you get. So if you are interested in doing this, we have been reaching out to some of our friends and family already to help with this. And you can also reach out to us directly and we can have this discussion. And these are agreements that are going to be between you and us, the company, or in some cases, it could be the individuals like myself. If you don't trust the company, you trust me, there will be an agreement between me and you that you will get your money back to make sure that you will get your money, right? So this is a way that we are creating basically to ensure that we are funded to continue this project. So what are the next steps from here? Overall, here are about 6 steps that we're highlighting. If you want to support this work and you believe in everything that I have said here today, and you believe that we Sierra Leoneans or we the individuals are the people who can actually develop Sierra Leone, and if we come together, we are going to be able to do something at this scale, then join us. And to join us, you can buy the home, let's negotiate and see. You can invest in one of our companies, or you can invest in all of our communities. You can hire us to manage your home construction project. We do make money from that, and those monies go back into the estate development. You can hire us to design or build your eco-friendly home. The profit from that goes back into building these estates. Or you can hire us to help you develop your own sustainable residential or vacation community. Profits from this also going. So there are different methods that we can work with you to basically, so any business you bring to us, that business is really helping to develop the real estate market in Sierra Leone. And in the grand scheme of things, it's helping to promote investment and helping to develop the economy. Why this is all important is that at some point in the next 3 weeks or so, we're going to have another webinar where we're going to dive deeper into how we build and some other things. Most of the materials we use in our building are locally sourced. So the money, the investment is all staying in Sierra Leone for the most part, which is our goal, using local content as best as possible, keeping the houses eco-friendly so that we can profit and benefit from it a lot as Sierra Leoneans and as a nation. So with that said, I think I've said a lot already. Thank you all very much for listening. And I will now open it up for questions. If you want to contact us, you can get to our website, TpESTATE.com. Our office is at 13 Hillcourt Road. This is actually a picture of the office right now as it is. It has changed a little bit, but our office is right at Hillcourt Road. By the roundabout, if you stand there, you look on the left-hand side, you will see the office. Our phone numbers are here, our email addresses, you can reach out. Just look for that signboard while going up the hill, just after the Kiama Road roundabout, you'll see our office. So I'll now open it up for questions, and then I'll stop talking. Thank you all very much.
Thank you very much, Tamba. I came in late, by the way, so my first questions is definitely going to be